welcome back. If this is your first video watching of mine, I personally want to say welcome, and hopefully you subscribe by the end and join the family. Alright, so today we are diving into some sweat-proof, heat-proof, summer-proof, late night, date night makeup, and that's what I got going on right now. I hope you guys enjoy this video, learn a thing or two, and without any more talking, let's just get right into it. I'm going to start by moisturizing and prepping my skin. Now typically I would go in with the moisturizer with SPF in it, but considering we would be getting ready at night, I'm definitely not going to use a moisturizer with SPF because I don't want that flashback when I'm taking flash photography at night. So instead of using a moisturizer with SPF, I'm going to be using this moisturizer, which is the MAC Strobe Cream, and to me it's kind of like an illuminating moisturizer. So this product boosts the look of dull, flat, or tired skin. It brightens and clarifies, and it adds the softest glow to your skin. You guys need to know that you do not need to have dry skin in order to like get your face really glowy and use glowy products, and I'll show you guys what I mean a little bit later on. So to prime my skin, of course, I'm going to use two different products. You guys should already know by now. I've just been using multiples lately, and it's just kind of been my jam, and it's been working for me, so I'm going to continue doing that. So today I will be using the Milk Makeup. This is just a little mini. I realize I just have a lot of primers that I don't use too often, so I bought the mini just to make sure that I love it, and I definitely will purchase the bigger size of that once that one's finished. And then I'm gonna go in with the Tatcha Silk Canvas as well. I truly believe in primers, and in my opinion it can make or break the longevity of your makeup. You just have to find the one that you love and that works for you, whether that be for oiliness, dryness, redness, pores, whatever. I like to use primers that have like a tacky base after you put it on and it kind of like sets. And I know you're probably like, ew, tacky, why? Well, I feel like the foundation adheres better to your skin and applies so much better when you have like a tacky base underneath. So this Hydro Grip primer definitely does that, as well as the Too Faced Hydrating Serum does get tacky as well. So if you just wanted to use that as a primer, you kind of could. So I'm just kind of pressing this everywhere, letting it settle. And then I'm going to grab my Tatcha, and I'm just going to focus this in my inner parts of my face, like mostly by my nose, because that's where the majority of my pores live. And I'm just using my middle finger with my ring finger and just kind of pressing that into the skin. Now for foundation, I'm going to go in with my NARS Natural Radiant Foundation. This is their longwear foundation, and this is in the shade Syracuse. To apply, I'm just going to use this damp sponge, and I like to do it this way because it allows me to build up the coverage to my desired intensity. So I'm just going to use the sponge to apply the foundation. This is like one of my favorite foundations, especially when it comes to versatile coverage, because you can build it up if you want to, or you can kind of sheer it out if you wanted that look as well. It also doesn't look cakey. It's very long wearing, and I just am obsessed with this one. I think NARS really has some of the best foundations, in my opinion. Also, this foundation doesn't have SPF in it, and remember in the beginning when I was talking about not using SPF, especially for that flashback. So just a little tip for me, definitely make sure that whatever products you're using don't have SPF in it if you want to take flash photography, because then you will be looking crazy and ghost faced. I mean, I haven't found any kind of SPF that doesn't give me ghost face. But if you guys have tried something with SPF in it and it doesn't give you that ghost face, let me know down in the comments down below. So now I'm going to conceal using the Too Faced Born This Way concealers. I'm actually going to be using two of them, Warm Sand and Warm Beige. Warm Beige will give it a little bit of brightness. Warm Sand is more like my skin tone. And you guys know when I want to do a little bit of full coverage, I like to do two concealers. So I'm going to go in with both of these in my usual places, you know, underneath my eyes, a little bit above my lip, my chin, and the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my forehead, of course. And also, while we're here, I like to multitask as well. So I am going to put a little bit on my lids to use as my base for my eyeshadow later on, because if you can do 2 steps with one product, that's better. And then with the warm beige, which was the lighter shade, I'm going to run a little bit of this underneath my eyes and down the bridge of my nose as well. And then I'm going to blend it in with the sponge. So make sure when you guys are blending that you're getting the inner part of your eye like right in that corner, because it really makes a difference. You really want to add some brightness there because it can be super dark. So just make sure that you hit that spot with a little bit of concealer when you're blending out your under eye area. And I'm telling you, it will make the world of a difference. And you guys already know I don't really care to use eyeshadow base for my eyeshadow. I always go in with concealer, so just using the same one I put under my eyes makes it that much more easier. So with the power of editing, we are going to add some cream contour. I did use the Wet n Wild contour stick, and this is in Call Me Maple, and I actually really like this one. So I am going to use my Sephora Pro 47 brush to blend all of this in and kind of like buff it into the skin a little bit. So I have said on my channel plenty of times that this can definitely be intimidating, even to myself, you know, but I've discovered that it's really not as hard as we think it is. Like, it's really not. It's intimidating, but it's kind of like intimidating for no reason. So what I like to do is like buff it in an upwards motion on my cheekbones. Just kind of like buff it into the skin. Trying not to disturb the foundation underneath too much when doing this. I don't recommend swirling your brush because then it could potentially disturb the foundation, like I said, underneath. So I'm really making sure that I'm just like buffing it back towards my hairline, because you don't want that line of like cream contour and then like your skin. You want it all to blend nicely, so it's okay if you get it on your hair. This number 47 brush is actually their foundation brush, but I really do like to use it for cream contour. I feel like the angle that it has just works really well for buffing the product into the skin. So now you want to set everything down so that it doesn't budge. I am going to be using the Wet n Wild translucent powder for this step. Setting my makeup is important, but I'm also going to be baking today, which you guys know I don't normally do a lot of on my channel, but I've just been in this like baking phase lately, and probably with the summer it's kind of smart to bake because it really does set my makeup down nicely, especially if you're using the right setting powders to do so. So first I'm going to use my sponge and I'm going to tap underneath my eye just to make sure all the creases are out. We don't want to set any kind of creases underneath our eye. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of that Wet n Wild powder on my M554 brush, and just a very small amount of powder. You don't want too much because we're not baking just yet, we're just setting. And then you're going to want to press that into your skin. So you guys can't even see the powder that I'm putting down because it's that light of a layer. So you're just going to swirl your brush in the lid, tap it off, and then press underneath. And you don't want to bake with a tacky base. At least that's what I've learned. It's kind of like putting powder over, or cream over powder. When you mix the two together, it does not make a nice combination. So it's kind of like that. And I'm just basically going to set all of this middle section right here, because this is where I want it to be matte and on my chin. Now I'm going to take my Real Technique sponge and I'm going to dip that into the lid as well, kind of tap it off a little bit, and then I'm just going to press this powder nice and neatly underneath my eyes only. So this next step is for my oily queens out there who still want to lock in their makeup but still want to glow. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent glow powder to set everywhere except where I baked. This powder is such a great alternative to using a matte setting powder because not only does it set, but you also get that soft skin-like glow, so your makeup is locked into place beautifully. You do want to be light-handed with this product because it is super glowy, so you really only need like the smallest amount for the whole face. As you guys know, I have oily skin and I don't always want a matte look, so I feel like a lot of people with my skin type believe that you have to use all matte products all the time because your skin's so oily, but that's truly not the case, and that's like the furthest thing from the truth. So now we're going to work on our brows really quickly. I'm going to underline them with my Colourpop Brow Boss pencil, and this is in brunette. And I'm just going to line the bottom for the most part. I might do a little bit of the wing on the side because that needs some defining as well. And then I'm just going to go right on top of it with this e.l.f. brow gel, and this is called the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and it's in deep brown. So I really love using the e.l.f. Wow Brow to like really do like a messy brow type look. Now I know this is not for everybody, but it's what I like, so please don't come for me in the comments. Thank you. So now we're gonna focus on the eyes now, and for like a night out, I like nudes, mauve tones, naturals, bronzy tones. You guys get the gist. Things like that. Something simple but still beautiful. I feel like those shades not only look very beautiful, they complement my skin tone and they go with pretty much anything that you put on, so they're definitely always like a go-to for me. So with that being said, we are going to be using a variety of different palettes and shadows and stuff like that, but the first one that we're going to go in with is this Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. Not only do I love the packaging, but I love the shadows in this palette, especially like the browns and nudes in here. I also like this shimmer shade as well, but we're gonna go in with these brown tones here. Not the darkest one, maybe we might, maybe we won't, but we'll see. But definitely these two. I'm gonna start with this lighter shade right here, and I'm gonna start by building that up in my crease. I am gonna use the Morphe M441 to do that, so I'm just gonna swirl my brush in there, tap it off, and then start blending it inwards. And I like to start on the outer corner and work my way in, because I feel like wherever you lay your brush is where you concentrate the most product, and I really want to concentrate the product on the outer part of my lid, not so much the inner part. So when it comes to picking a transition shade to use, I basically try to think of it as like a contour for the eye. So which shade would best contour my eye, or would I choose to contour like my face or something? But obviously I'm using it for my eye, so that's just kind of like how I pick my transition shades, just in case you guys have trouble selecting transition shades. You could definitely go in with like a colorful color, a color that's like not nude or a transition shade if you wanted to in your crease, but it's all personal preference. So again, I'm just going windshield wiper motions back and forth, rounding it out about here, and just really building this shadow up. So now that I know I have basically no product left on the brush, I'm gonna buff it up to my brows a little bit. So that first shade we grabbed was Necessary. Now we're gonna grab Churro, which is this one right here. I'm gonna swirl my brush, tap it off. This is the M513, and I just want to add a little bit of definition, especially to the outer part of my eye. So I am going to tap my brush off and then start working this product a little bit below the crease, but still in the crease, if that makes sense. So when I put too much color on, I'm going to grab this M504 brush, and it's a clean blender brush. And I'm just going to use this one to just help kind of buff out and sheer out this shade a little bit. So to get this eye to look like this bottom eye, I'm I'm gonna take this pencil brush. This is the M431. I'm gonna dip into Necessary in the palette. I'll look up in my mirror and smudge this along the lower lash line all the way. Then I'm gonna take this more, it's like a really teeny blender brush. This is the Morphe M562. I'm gonna pick up Churro in the palette. And I'm gonna brush this along my lower lash line as well. Grab a little bit more. And this time I'm gonna focus this underneath in the center and the outer parts. Now I'm gonna grab this pencil brush. Well, this is an eyeliner brush from e.l.f. And I'm gonna grab the Butter London palette. And I'm gonna take Temptress, that dark brown. Run this in here and then use that to kind of like tight line my bottom lash line. I'm gonna grab that pencil brush again with Necessary and blend out that line. So now I'm gonna take this Butter London palette and I'm gonna take this one right here called Queen, that pinky one. So I am gonna use this Morphe M167 brush. I'm gonna swirl my brush in there a little bit. I'm gonna spray with some Fix Plus spray, of course, and then I'm gonna apply this on the inner part of my lid. Just to add a little bit of brightness underneath the brows, I do want to grab some brightening powder. This is actually their highlighting powder. This is the Smashbox palette, and this is the Cali contour palette. They have this powder down here that's like highlighting powder, but highlighting, brightening, same thing in my opinion. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and I'm gonna put this underneath my brows just to lighten up that area underneath there a little bit. So I'm so obsessed with the way that glitter looks on your eyes at night. The way that the light just reflects off of your eyes, it just looks so beautiful. Whether it's the city lights or the club nightlife, your eyes are going to light up with the way the lights hit it. So I'm going to apply some glitter to the inner part of my eye, and I'm just using my Artist Couture loose highlighter powder. And I think that this powder just works perfectly for this step. I just feel like it transforms the whole thing and it just looks really, really nice. You guys see that? Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply some brown liner instead of black, and the reason I'm using brown instead of black is because it's not as intense, but it still looks good. Lashes, mascara, and then I'll be back so we can finish up the face. For bronzer, I'm just gonna use my Fenty Beauty bronzer, and this is an Islanding, and I'm gonna use the JH02 brush to really bronze up my cheeks and everything. I go back and forth between this one and that other brush that I was using. I decided to use this one today because it just covers more of my face and I really want a nice bronzed skin glow kind of look. So, one out the big guns today. Now this is really random, but a lot of people have been doing faux freckles. It's like faux freckles is like the new thing for summer now. And I think they're so cute. I really do, but I have no idea how to do them. I definitely am not gonna try today, but stay tuned because I just might try some faux freckles at some point. Okay guys, really quickly, I want to highlight underneath my eyes a little bit more. So I'm just gonna go back in with that Smashbox palette, use that same powder that we used underneath our brows, and I'm gonna use my Real Technique sponge to do this. Gonna press it into the powder and then lightly press it underneath my eyes in this like inner corner part. See how it just brightens it up? I'm gonna do that on both sides, and I'm also gonna put a little bit of this powder on the sides of my nose. Okay guys, we're almost done. Now to blush up our cheeks and give us a nice little flush of color, I am going to go in with the Blushing in Bali palette. And I am going to grab these two shades, the two lighter ones right here, these two. This palette right here, this top part, reminds me of the Almar Cosmetic Blush Trio because it looks similar. But I really like these two mixed together, so I'm going to do that. Coral and the other one I can't really say, but I'm going to use the Morphe M406 brush. It's just like a large stippling brush. You guys know I like stippling brushes to apply my blush because I feel like it applies it so much more evenly and it looks more natural and beautiful. Alright you guys, now it's time to highlight to the heavens, and to do that I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Loose Pigment Highlight, and this is in I'm So Lit. They have another one that's more of like a more golden tone highlight that I want to get, but this one is super beautiful, so I'm going to be using this today. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking my Sonia Kashuk sponge and I'm going to spray it down just a little bit, then I'm going to pinch it slightly and then dip it into the highlight and start placing it down. It seems pretty intense at first, but the more you blend it in, the better off it'll be. I find that when using a sponge, it just really looks like, you know, your skin is glowing from within instead of powder just like sitting on your face. You guys know even when I go in with my powder or more compact powder highlighters that I still tap over top with a beauty sponge just so that it just melts it into the skin and you get more of that, you know, lit from within kind of glow. So to get the inner parts of my face, like my inner corners, brow bone, lip, and nose, I like to use a smaller brush. This is the Morphe M321, and I'm just going to take this on my nose and just tap it there, as well as the bridge of my nose. Not all the way down, just kind of like right in here. And then I'm going to obviously pick up a little bit more, and then I'm going to put that above my lip. And then of course I'm going to take it in my inner corners as well. And on my brow bone. Now we look super glowy and radiant, and we didn't even have to try so hard. So now before I do my lip, I need to figure out what I'm going to wear, because normally my lip is just based off of the outfit that I have on for that day, and I have no idea what I'm going to wear. So let me go figure that out, and then we can come back, talk about the lip, set the face, and then we'll be done. Be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. My hair is done, lip is on, and no shocker to anyone, I'm sure, it's a nude. But this is a different kind of nude. I used different nude products today. This is more like a peachy nude, and I felt like it was the best kind of nude, not only to go with the dress. I mean, you can't go wrong with nude in a black dress, but it also complements the eyes. So when it comes to the lips, the first thing I did was apply a lip liner, and the lip liner of choice for today is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil, and this is in Wherever Walnut. You guys know I've been loving using this, and basically I just use this to line and kind of fill in my lips. This is like the base to my lip color, and if my lipstick rubs off throughout the night, at least I know I still have this base to work with. So that's why I made sure I applied the lip liner, not only lining it but also filling in my lips. You guys get the point. Next, I used a liquid lip underneath a gloss, and you guys can use a lipstick if you want, but I find that using a liquid lipstick stays longer and better. It doesn't matter if it's matte or not. I went in with the Fenty Beauty liquid lipstick in Unbutton. It's actually her Stunna lip paint, and the shade is Unbutton. And I'm just mainly focusing this color in the center of my lips. I'm blotting it out, basically not really putting too much of this color on there, just enough to cover my lips. I feel like with this liquid lipstick, it's a little bit not hard to work with, but I find it best to apply it in little dots first and just kind of like blot it on your lips. I think that's the best way to apply this rather than just smearing the whole thing on your lip. If that's your method of choice, then by all means. And then for gloss, I just topped it off with some Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper. It's like a gloss that's sheer, but it has like a small pink tint to it, and I really like it on top of all of these products. I've been really loving a glossy lip lately, and it's weird because I used to be an all matte lip kind of girl, but I'm making changes, as you guys can see. So definitely love the glossy lip. So finally, you want to set everything down, and no, I'm not going in with what you guys think I am. I'm actually going to be using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I ran out of my other one. I just repurchased a new can of this, and I just forgot how good this stuff is. So I'm actually going to be using this. Sometimes using a setting spray with alcohol can really dry out your skin if you use it too much. So this one's really nice, and I really like that about it. It's just very nice, and I love the mist. The mist on it is just so nice. So this is the final look, you guys. I really love it, if I do say so myself. I hope you guys love it. This is that sweat-proof, summer-proof, heat-proof, glowy, radiant makeup look. Like it's everything you need. It's the whole package for a perfect date night, for your makeup to stay in place. It won't budge, but you still be glowy and beautiful. You guys can always let me know what you think in the comments down below. Definitely, if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel, bell notification on, so you can be notified every Wednesday and Sunday when I upload. I love you guys so much. Thank you all for supporting me and keeping on this journey with me, and I will see you guys super soon in the next video or vlog, whichever one comes first.